All right.
Hello.
It's the Briggs Show. How's it going, everybody?
Well, it's the Brig and Shane Show. The Shane and Brig Show.
Yeah,
It's the Briggs Show with Shane.
Yes.
Featuring.
Welcome, everybody. Let's see if we can't do. It's funny that we're redoing this because of the technical issues, and all morning long we've been hearing JJ having HR moments.
Well,
Kelly never has an HR moment. Kelly's just HR's heaven.
That's true.
You were not in here earlier.
Wait.
Kelly's sanitized for your protection. All right, so we're gonna redo some Skype, but we're gonna focus more on the Skype for Business, which is really where a lot of the demand is. If you want to go to Skype for Business and you're currently using the Skype consumer or the Skype package that's in the package library, that's not Skype for Business. Uninstall that one if you want to move. If you want to move forward, and have your Skype integrate with Outlook and all the goodies. Basically, after Microsoft acquired Skype, and they just kind of used that to replace Link. Right?
Yep.
So that assimilation is complete. And
Mostly.
So yeah.
Except for the names.
Yeah, it's funny. They still keep the Link EXE name on the Skype for Business. I love it. We'll cover all of that. Anyway, let's do it. Let's jump into all this. Brig is setting up the environment.
Had to do some rebooting. So Office is kind of fun.
Yes. So we're talking about an Office component. Now, which Office are we going to be playing with? What version?
2016.
2016. Okay. But if you're using, are you going to cover the click to run as well?
Yep.
Okay. So if you're using Office 365, or you're using Office 2016 and you use the OCT, right?
Yep.
Okay. Making sure we're on the same page.
Yes.
You're in your next webcast. I'm sorry. I'm in the wrong room.
There we go.
All right, Briggs. So let's jump right into this.
Okay, so let's start out with doing uninstalls first, since we already have everything installed, and usually people want to uninstall. Well, though we'll also cover installs just in case.
Okay, so they've pushed, like maybe they pushed out the OCT, and they're saying, there's some components I don't want. In this case, we're going to use Skype.
Exactly.
But you could use some more methods to remove other Office components, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Good.
And then I'll have a very important note about MSP files. So in the bonus content, there are several articles that have been written, and they include XML files and instructions. Those we're not going to go into the nitty-gritty of how to do all of this because those XML files are already there. We're just we're going to show you exactly what's there. So I've already got a PDQ inventory set up, and I'm showing that I've got 4 things installed. I've named this Click to Run 7, Click to Run 10, Office Customization Tool 7, Office Customization Tool 10, just so that we can follow along.
OCT, okay.
Yep, OCT.
Gotcha.
And it's really actually Office Deployment Tool, so it should be ODT, but we're still going to call it Click to Run.
Well, it shows Click to Run in the. It's interesting when you're looking at the add remove programs, or when you're looking at PDQ inventory at the applications, you'll see Click to Run there.
Yeah, so it's sort of like I think they're doing one of those name changes again, where they're trying to do it like an ODT, OCT. I don't know.
ODT.
It gives me my OCD problems.
Yes,
So.
it does. All right. So what we have, just again, we've got 4 machines that have Skype installed, and we can actually show you on these. So if we do
and making sure that there's nothing up the old
nothing
sleeve.
up those sleeves. Skype for Business is right there. All right. And now we're going to go ahead and just deploy this handy little thing, this uninstall.
So go ahead and open that up. Do you mind if we take a
Oh, no, we
take a
actually
peek?
want to do that. So what we're going to do is pretty easy. We're going to kill the process first. Now, important note, you want to make sure that you have PowerShell version higher than 2 to be able to do
Yeah, and
this.
honestly, try to get off a PowerShell 5, 5.1. The packages are out there in the package library. Just get it out. It works. Windows 7 on a higher. So many of our packages are going to be starting, as well as a lot of Microsoft's movement, is really towards PowerShell.
Yes.
Especially in this latest Windows 17.03.
Yeah.
So
more so with server and everything like that. So yeah, keeping update on that is good. And then here we just run a simple uninstall where we're just calling the MSP. The nice thing about it is that we're able to handle everything for you. So you just put in the MSP, and there you go. We go ahead and put everything in that you need.
Yeah, we'll detect when you're using an install step. We will detect if it's an MSI or an MSP. We'll automatically add those silent parameters to that.
Yep. So what we're going to do is we're just going to have a look at that MSP actually. So here and again, these are all in the bonus content, but I'm just calling the setup.exe for the Office customization tool, and then the admin. And
When you run the /admin, that actually opens up the OCT.
yep. All right, and we're going to just review which one was Skype remove. I think that's what I referenced. Is that? Yep, it sure is.
So we'll just open up an existing one. In your case, you'd probably just create a new one. But
Yeah. All right, so we've got the normal things: install location, license information, modify the setup parameters, and set feature installation states.
this is the important part.
Yep.
Because obviously you probably use this to, to install Office. In this case, everything is grayed out,
Yep.
except for Skype for Business, which is actually just removed.
Yep.
You're saying just so this.
Yes.
This truly just will do that, right?
Yes, and super important not to mess with anything else. So if you've already got Office installed, you don't want to go in here mucking about and changing things and all of that. And you really want to, but you don't want to like set, okay, well, I definitely want these all to run from my computer because that's how they're already set. You want to just change exactly what it is that you want to change, and that's it. So for here,
So if
we've
you
just
wanted to
made
move
it-
Publisher, you could do Skype for Business as well as remove Publisher.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. And then leave everything else alone. So you just want to make this not available. That's
Gotcha.
it. It's got the X. I mean, this has been around since Office 2003, this kind of setup. So
2007.
2007? Mm-hmm. Okay. What was 2003?
2003 was old school silent parameters. Wow. Oh, yeah.
I would like to say that was before my time, but it's not. All right, so we're not going to really save that because we already saved that. So yes, I really do want to quit. All right, and then going back to this. So that's what we're calling in this package here. And then we're just going to go ahead and deploy that out.
Cool.
Yep. So,
Open this up real quick. I noticed on the install step that you do not have the include entire directory, something that's important if you're installing.
yes, if you're installing.
But in this case, uninstalling, the MSP should suffice. All right.
Yep, because you're just telling Office, hey, I just want you to uninstall this product that already exists.
If you click that include entire directory, it's going to take a lot longer.
Yeah, because it's going to copy over.
It's going to copy over several gigs
Yeah.
that are unnecessary, apparently.
Yep.
So.
All right, and so on this one, I'm just going to go ahead and do deploy once. And
Okay.
I could do a redeployment on this one, but I've already select my target lists. So
You created a target list, okay?
yeah, OCT targets, boom, and we're just going to go ahead and deploy that now.
I'm assuming OCT10 and OCT7 means
OCT, Office
OCT, but
customization.
is for Windows 10 and Windows 7.
Yeah, Windows 7 and Windows 10. Because we just want to, we always want to make sure. Windows 8 is pretty much 10, it's 9, and 8.1 is 9. So, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and throw a question while we're waiting for that.
Dear Shane and Brig, what's the best way to upgrade to a newer version of Skype? I tried this once with PDQ and wiped out their chat log. Sincerely, Kevin J.
The problem with, hey, Kevin, number one, the chat log. I haven't seen that before, but it very well could have happened. The package, the version that we're using in the package library, that's the consumer version, that used to be known as Skype for Business. That's why it has that odd version 32. If you'll notice, there's always a version 32 in the third position. Anyway, that used to be the Skype for Business that is still made available from Microsoft, but that one you always have to uninstall it before you reinstall it. Always. In testing, I have always kept my Skype up and I've always retained my history, but it's probably due to the uninstall in that case. So that's if you're, I'm assuming you're using the one from the package library. In this case, I honestly don't know how the Office, if you uninstall and reinstall the Office component. I don't know how that's going to happen. It's all integrated with Office. It's one of the reasons people want to use it, with their OneNote or with their Outlook. I'm sorry about that. If it sounds like you're using the package library. That does uninstall. I haven't seen problems, but it's a requirement.
Yeah.
You know why? They always use the same product code in that one, all through version 6, 7, all of them.
They do. I don't know why. Well, I know why, but I can't solve that problem. I wish I had an answer for that, but maybe Microsoft.
Yeah, you can't. You literally cannot install that same version that Microsoft makes available. You can't just upgrade the next version that comes out because it's always got the same product code.
The same product code. Look what we have here. We have a success. Hooray!
I'm not used to seeing that on a webcast. Lex, he just left you in the dust. Us.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
just
like
left
that's
us in the
that
dust.
tough to do. Come on.
Okay, here we go.
Guess who's getting replaced?
Skype.
We
Oh,
teach
no
troubleshooting.
Skype.
All right, so yeah, now there's no Skype,
Skype.
nothing up your sleeve. Okay.
No. And let's just make sure that it's also uninstalled here, because this one. Nope.
Yep, there it is, because that says Store App. You'll
Store
see that one, but you can still see that there were the Office components. If you remove that, you'll see that there's Word and Excel and
Yeah.
stuff. So it just removed those Office components.
Yep.
And I'd like to stress
Publisher
this is not
Word.
the only way to remove Office components. This is a very simple way compared. We have some online documents, knowledge bases on using a config XML file to do it, and this is a slightly easier, more intuitive way. But
Yeah.
just want to make sure there's more than one route up Mount Fuji.
And kind of adding on to what Shane said, it's also this is also, while easy, is also very difficult in the fact that it's not really a hard set limit, but the MSP files, when you run those, when you change those, make those and run those, it's one of those things where you just can't keep going back and forth.
You can't keep uninstalling and
Yeah,
installing.
uninstalling and reinstalling and uninstalling and reinstalling, because it will just eventually just not do anything. It won't throw an error code. It will just show, oh yeah, it's successful and it did what it's supposed to do. The output log shows exactly what you would expect it to do, and it does absolutely nothing.
That's okay. So I heard you talking. You were trying to just do an overload on installs and uninstalls
Yes.
just to test the limit, and pretty soon it was
Just done.
It was Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was. I looked in the box and the cat was dead. So in those cases, what you'll need to do is you'll actually have to uninstall Office. And when this is fine because it'll keep all of the settings and everything like that, and then just reinstall it. And luckily enough, we produce a program that will do that for you very easily.
Yeah,
So,
we have a package out there for uninstalling Office.
Yep.
There's uninstall Office based on the version, or just uninstall all Offices that it
yeah.
finds.
And then, and of course it's just, and then you can install it, and there's 1,000 different ways of doing that.
Okay.
So we're good. All right, so now we're going to do the uninstall. There's two ways actually of doing an uninstall for the click-to-run version. You can use the uninstall string, which you can find in PDQ inventory, and you can also use an XML file removal. And it sort of just depends on what it is that you want to do. Do you know why you would choose one or the other?
I've always used the XML. It's a
Okay.
couple of extra steps. It's fairly well documented.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say well. It's somewhat documented out there. I've always used the XML. I'm keen to see the non-XML version.
Okay.
Just keep in mind, don't do this OCT, don't do this MSP that we were just showing you on a click-to-run. If you have a click-to-run Office, you need to use this method here.
Yeah.
Let's show them really quick where to grab that in inventory. You said you grab this in inventory. If you're using the Pro or Enterprise version of inventory, let's go to those CTR machines.
CTR. Oh, there they are.
Open up one of those,
Okay. Let's do 7.
and let's look at it.
Install. Actually, should we just copy it?
Yeah, you'll see this uninstall. If you have the Pro or Free or Pro or Enterprise, you'll see an uninstall string. We're just going to copy that one.
Let's just pull up the notepad.
Nice long.
Yes, very long. And you can immediately just eliminate this.
Yeah, you can remove the culture attribute.
Yep, culture and version information, because that information is already stored right here. So that's basically it.
Okay.
So
Now we're just going to. You've got that already copied and pasted into
Yep,
a package drawing.
yep. Got a package, and there we go. So this is the long string that we just did. And again, I can edit this version here. This is for. With each different version of Office, you're going to have a different version of this uninstall string. So just make sure that you're using this one for Office 2016 because it will say 16 on it.
Yeah, and if you have a 2013, it's going to be slightly different.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
So I got a question. So each of those strings are different, and it absolutely matters.
Yes.
Yeah, for major versions, if one has a different Office 2016 update, KB update, and versus the other one, those are staying the same. These appear to change only from major versions.
Major versions. Yep.
2010, 2013, 16, and then of course whether it's click to run, also known as the Office 365,
Yep.
or the something from the Office customization toolkit.
Thanks for the clarification.
How about that clear answer?
That was good.
Could I have just said no?
It would have been faster, but not as informative.
All right, let's do this.
All right, so let's go ahead and deploy this out. So we're just going to uninstall it, and we're going to do a deploy once again. And choose it, and I've got my handy target list for click-to-run targets.
How much of this information is in the bonus content that you made available?
Actually, I don't want to do CTR 10 because we're going to uninstall that using the XML. So we're just going to do so.
Okay.
How much of this is what?
In the extra content, the bonus
All of it.
content.
All of it. Everything that we're covering here today is in the bonus content. And we also have blog articles, KBs on it, so they exist. And including links to what Microsoft site for like languages, because English is not always the universal language, and so there's lots of different language variables that you can use, and there's just a wealth of information.
Hey, which one? What about if people want to see? I know that there was in order to find machines that have Skype. In some cases, you're going to have to use the like a file scanner in inventory. You want to?
Yeah.
If we have any questions, by all means, throw down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dear Shane and Brig, is there a way to install Skype for Business without installing the rest of the Office suite? For example, we are using Office 2013 and need to install Skype for Business 2016, but we are not ready to move to Office 2016. Love ya, love your show, Aaron D.
So can you
Side-by-side
take a component from 2016 and put it on top of 2013? I don't think you can.
You might be able to do that with a standalone installer. It sort of depends on whether or not you're using Office 365, which does come with a standalone installer. But it's dicey.
If you're using OCT, if you're using the regular Office, they don't like you. You can't add a component, because when you're adding a component, you're telling it which main Office version to throw this onto, and if you'll probably end up getting some errors, honestly. But if there is that, yes, there is a separate on the click to run version. There is a separate install. That one might work.
That one might work.
Aaron, it really depends on if you're using Office 365.
Yeah.
So would you guys suggest that they even do that, or kind of consolidate?
I would do some digging around with Microsoft. Obviously,
Yeah.
use a test machine if you want.
Yeah.
You could find out very quickly.
Because you can do Office side-by-side installations, but it's tricky, and especially with something like Skype for Business, where it puts its fingers in all the pie.
Yeah.
So
because it has to integrate. It has to integrate with Outlook and everything. That's kind of the whole purpose of it.
Yep.
We'll show you. There's some ways. There's some little tricks, Aaron, that you can use to find out before you just commit to PDQ deploy or your deployment tool to blast this out. You're going to want to run this manually, and just you'll get some instant feedback on the target computer if there's going to be a problem. Something like you just can't do this on top of an old version of Office.
Yeah, you
you'll
get like
that
a
feedback.
30066, which is prerequisite failed for the installation. You could get a 17002, which I believe that doesn't apply. There are a variety of different errors that you can get that you can troubleshoot and just see if you.
Surprises me you keep that in your mental Rolodex.
I've been living and breathing that stuff for a long time. Errors. All right. Okay. So it looks like we were successful in our uninstall. So let's go to. Oh, we forgot to do a sleeve show, but
That's okay.
inventory doesn't lie to us. So we're going to go here and we're going to check.
Okay, no Skype.
There's no Skype. There's nothing. No matches of anything.
Okay.
All right. So now let's just check and make sure that we do have Skype for Business installed here.
Yep.
Yep.
There
Skype
it
for
is.
Business right there. Perfect. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use the Uninstall XML, and this is your preferred method. So this is a good one. All right. So here, and you'll notice that we have set up a variable. So do you want to go into this for a second?
Yeah,
Because
sure, real quick.
this is important.
If you have a lot of packages, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did this. If you have a lot of packages that reference file shares, notice what Brig has done here. He's got an install source variable. That's okay. Go ahead and stay there.
Okay.
This is where, let's say you have almost all of your installation files out on a file share. Same file. It's the same file server, same file share. If you ever change that, you're going to have to go through all of these old packages and modify that path. But what Brig has done, I'm glad you were showing this out.
This is good stuff.
He's got in the variables and preferences, he's got an add install source, and just in this case, it's FS01 SFB.
Yep.
All right. If he ever changes that, maybe he goes to FS02 or something. He just has to change that once here, and anywhere that variable is referenced, it's going to apply. So this is just kind of a best practice for you. Anyway, going back, this resolves to FS01 SFB. All right.
And I just want to kind of add a little point here that I'm going to mention, because it's the coolest thing ever, is that this is kind of an important thing, especially since we're introducing the central server and the beta went out on that. Having these kind of variables will make your life very easy when you're migrating from an existing PDQ deploy instance over to central server.
Yeah.
But yes.
The optional central server.
The optional central server. Yes, it is optional. All right, so there we go. And we're just going to go ahead and deploy this out to the
10.
10.
So CTR 10,
Choose
right?
my targets. Click to run. And I'm doing this the long way, mostly because it's how I learned.
Okay.
We can also do it through inventory, which we did yesterday.
There's a lot of different ways.
Yeah, a lot of different ways of deploying.
Well, in
All
fact,
right.
while we're waiting, if you don't know, free, no extra charge. If you ever want to kick off a deployment from inventory, go to your computer or your collection, doesn't matter, or multi-select computers, and right-click or go to the Tools menu at top, go to Tools and PDQ Deploy, and that will just open up all of the different packages that you've got in your environment, and you just choose it, and that's how you can initiate a deployment from inventory.
Yeah,
All right.
it's a nice feature. All right.
So this is probably the one I would wager that this is a little bit more documented than the way that you're doing it. You're probably the way that you're doing it.
They're
was
both equally documented.
sort of
Yeah.
sort of poorly. Okay.
Oh, yes. No, they're great. They're good. They're pretty good.
So now this
Yeah.
this said it was done. Okay, let's check it out.
Yeah. Okay. So
We have inventory set to scan. We have PDQ deploy set to initiate a scan after deployments to inventory.
Oh, Skype for Business is still there.
Are you sure?
Oh.
Indexing.
Yes, indexing.
All right. So
All right. Important. This is very important.
yeah. So he just you see that this is the indexing for Windows on what's in the start menu.
Yep.
Notice Skype for Business was still there, but when you ran it, nope, it's not there.
It's not
you want
there.
to replace it, yeah, because it hasn't. It'd take a few minutes to actually remove that from the start menu.
Yep.
So it was removed. I'm glad that kind of showed up. 'cause
Yeah,
that would
me too.
That could confuse people.
Yeah, that's good because and then you'll notice this with a lot of programs, installations as well. Like it will install, it will finish. You know the deployment's been successful because you've got the green check mark. You'll go there and it's not necessarily there the second. You've got to wait for a little bit and then it will update.
Let's go ahead and install.
Okay.
Unless we have another question. All right.
Okay.
Dear Shane and Brig, can we run Skype and Skype for Business alongside each other? Sincerely, Jason A.
Hi, Jason. Yes.
Yes, you can. Obviously, you're not going to have, if you use the Skype, or also known as the Skype Consumer Edition, and Skype for Business, the Skype Consumer Edition's not going to it's not going to be able to integrate with Office. But the answer is yes. In fact, that's why if you are wanting to move to Office, Skype for Office, the business Skype,
Yeah.
Skype for Business.
Business Skype.
Jeez. See you later. If you want to do, it's probably best to remove that. And we do have an uninstall package in the package library that does not remove Skype for Business. It only removes the Skype Consumer Editions.
Yeah. It doesn't touch it at all. There's no overlap between those two when we uninstall it. So.
But yeah, the answer is yes, and I know that for a fact because I've run them side by side.
All right. Okay, so now we've checked all the machines. We know that they don't have anything on here. Inventory is also telling us that we don't have Skype for Business installed here. So now we're going to go ahead and install it. So this is using the Office customization tool, and it's the feature, and we're going to do Skype update. So we're going to come back up to
And you've
here.
got the include entire directory there. Is that necessary?
It's not necessary, no. It is
You
actually
had it checked.
not. I know I had it checked, but it's not necessary, and we're going to uncheck that. I had to do some testing on it, so
But you're sure it's not necessary
I'm sure.
because we're just using this MSP. Okay.
Yes.
So Skype update. So this is to add it to an existing. You've used perhaps the OCT to get 2016 out there. And you're like, oh, you know what? I wish I said no to Skype. I wish I had added it. So
Yep.
here's how you can add it.
Yep. The CTO calls up, I want Skype. All right, that's it. So what we've done is we've just run that from the computer. Run from my computer. Puts a little F there for full install, and that's it. Don't modify anything else. Just keep that the way it is. Save that MSP.
When I see F, I think of something completely different.
What is it that you think of?
Let's talk about that for a moment.
Let's stop. All right, so I'm going to uncheck include entire directory because again, that was for testing. Save this, and now I'm going to deploy this out. So And choose targets. Oh, target lists, yay. And again, I could use inventory, which would, with the collection, which would be great too. So, all right, let's go OCT targets. And
Are we going to do both?
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Because we only have the one way of installing it. On the
Now,
OCT.
while we're waiting, which version of Office, if they really want to find out which machines have Skype, and you don't see Skype in the add remove programs, or so you don't see it in applications, is that on the OCT?
It's on the, well, it'll be in the OCT in the whichever version it is that you're running, 2013.
So if they want to find out which machines have Skype, where do they need to use a file scanner?
Oh, the file scanner? Any machine.
Any
that
machine.
has Skype.
Okay.
Yep. So whether it's OCT or, do you want to show them
Yeah,
the file
sure.
scanner?
While we're
that's
waiting for that.
installed?
Okay, so in inventory, you'll notice we've got, let's look at OCT 7. Files. So you just deployed this, right? Yeah, so it's scanning. Did you add a file scanner to the application scan profile?
I believe so.
All right, well, we'll find out right now. I'm just going to go to preferences. In scan profiles, in applications. Ah, yes, there's files.
Yep.
So we went, by we, I mean Brig, he obviously added a files scanner to this scan profile. You open it up, and what he's looking for, different versions of Skype. So we're not going to keep this window open too long. He's looking for Skype or link, lync.exe, that exists either under Microsoft Office,
Yep.
anywhere under Microsoft Office in program files, or under Skype.
Yep.
And that's part of the application scan, which is kicked off automatically. Yep. So you can see now, OCT, we found link. If you scroll over and you look at like the header information, you'll see that it will actually say in the description, Skype for Business.
Yep.
Right? So you can use collections and reports, those filters, to actually filter not only off of the file name or the header information, but also this, file versions that you see right there. So that's how you can tell if machine has Skype. Because if you look at applications, you're not going to see Skype listed there. You're going to see Office. All right? So that little side note there.
And that's exactly how we created those collections in inventory, was by using that file scanner and being like, oh, okay, this is how we can do it. All right, so we were successful. So OCT install feature. So now we should see Skype for Business.
There it is.
There it is, Skype for Business, all installed. Let's check our 10 machine, just because it's always good. Skype for Business, right there. And just to make sure that it is, oh, here we go, flood. First things first, okay.
All right.
That's all we're gonna get. All right.
Cool.
Okay, now we're going to do the same thing for the click-to-run version. So again, we go over in inventory, we see that the OCTs are installed and the click-to-run versions are not. So we're just going to run install on that.
Okay.
There we go. Deploy once. And again, this is all outlined in the bonus content.
Okay.
So
While you do this, let's take another question.
yep.
Dear Shane and Brig, we use Office 365 Click to Run. Our deployed package has been customized and we removed Skype and Outlook. If we want Skype for Business deployed, do we have to use the version from the CTR package? Can we grab Skype for Business separately, and will it still integrate in the CTR application? Sincerely, Dr. Johnny D.
That was a similar question to the other one of can we mix and match the versions, and I'm thinking, honestly, I don't know. I'm thinking you're going to have a better chance of doing that on the CTR, the Office 365.
Yeah.
But it could be wrong. What you're going to want to do is try an interactive installation on one of these test machines that has that configuration, and you'll see immediately a window come up saying you can or can't do it. If it works, then go ahead and move along from deploy. But just make sure, install it manually, and make sure that it's not gonna throw up all over itself.
Yeah, and you can do and Click to Run now has a separate Skype installation file, but that separate file is for local installations only. It's not for deployments like how we're doing this here. But yeah, it's possible. Oh, we're still running. It's going to take a minute.
Did you have the? Oh, this is the click to run. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Click to Run.
Let's run it.
It just takes a minute.
If we have any more questions, we can throw down.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So if you want to, let's see, you created this.
Oh, here we go.
All right, so here you're looking at the application, doesn't say Skype for Business. And here, okay, so here you've got the file. So if you're ever using the file or registry scanners, you're going to need to use the appropriate filter, file or registry. So here you're saying the file name contains link, which you could also do equals in this case. And the description equals Skype for Business. So, you know, you might have an old version of link installed, and if that header doesn't say Skype for Business, then that wouldn't show up. So this is a great way of being able to nail down if you've got the link that Microsoft intends you to have.
Exactly, because you could have a link install from 2013, 2012. Yeah.
And if you wanted to even get deeper than that and start using version comparisons, then you could come over here and you'll have a couple of different version fields under file. File version is popular. There's also other version. You could do a file version. And anytime you're doing a comparison on versions, make sure you use the version comparisons, the ones that begin with the word version. So you could say anything that's, you know, version is not lower than this, and it will that'll show you, you know, perhaps the latest one that you're expecting. So.
All right.
Cool.
Should we see how our deployments are doing?
Nah.
No?
Still working.
We're still working.
That's okay.
It takes a while.
Yeah, I think you were telling me you could take up to like 5 minutes. And that's just in our environment. Every environment is different, especially if you have a WAN. All right, I think we're going to go up. There's no reason for us to stick around.
I don't know
if
we have 5 minutes. That's
that's okay.
We're successful.
How about 5 minutes of just dead air?
Yes, we just stand here.
watching Shane drink.
Hey, we need some dead air. Lex, come on over here.
He starts walking.
That is so cold.
Everybody thinks that Lex
It's
and I
so
don't
true.
like each other. Lex goes out and visits with customers. Like, do you and Shane actually? It's like, no, we're bros.
We've known each other for years,
We-
Ian.
You don't make
Years
fun
and
of
years.
you don't
Decades.
make fun of people that you don't like.
You know, I got a hug
At least
from
in front of
Shane
their
this morning.
face.
That makes you a tool of epic humiliating proportions.
I mean,
I actually
that
met
makes you
with
JJ.
I met with a customer
Oh,
who
you're
actually
not
said,
wrong.
"I love the fact that Shane calls you a tool."
Nice.
You're like, my mom calls me a tool. That's my middle name. All right, everybody. If you have any questions, by all means, hit up our support forums. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining our webcast today. Congratulations to Aaron D. and Kevin J., winners of PDQ swag. Get us your info at webcast@pdq.com. We'll get that out to you as soon as we can. And don't forget, join us next week. Shane and Lex will be back. Thanks again.